is Dorothy with That Scrapbooking. I'm going to make another card, another challenge card for the Atlantic Cards Challenge. And I didn't make a picture of the sketch, but I'm going to follow the sketch very, very closely. So I have a little bit, the background is French vanilla and it's 5.5 by 4.25. And then I put some melon on top and it's 5.25 by 4. And then I made another French vanilla that is 5 by 3 3/4. So I kind of piled them on top of each other. And I used these two stamps. One is the Cosette stamp set, and the other is, oh dear, I forget, but it'll be down below afterwards. So I love these flower groupings. And so the thin cuts just, help make it so easy. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp it in the intense black ink so that I can color over it however I want. I'm not really sure how yet. And so there we go. And I can color on it right away without the ink running or blurring. So that stamp set that has the oval, it also has another kind of a domed shape, an art shape piece that I really like, but I love the oval. And I kind of wish we had more oval thin cuts that were nested, to tell you the truth, because I really love the shape. So I decided to sponge the outside in melon so that it would stick out a little bit from the French vanilla on French vanilla. And I'm just trying to figure out, okay, what do I want to do there? Thank you would be okay, but they've got these other phrases that are on a curve, and look at how beautiful that looks. And it says, I'm here for you. And then there's friend in a real pretty script. And to tell you the truth, that plain vanilla that's sitting there, I'm going to change that out, and I'm going to take that same size piece and I'm going to run it through an embossing folder that has a starburst dot pattern on it, because when I finished it, I liked the way the card came out, but it was just that outside edge of French vanilla needed something. So I squished the top against the bottom pad to pick up some color with my water brush. So that's how I'm going to color. And these flowers look like chrysanthemums to me. So, a nice autumn flower. And I'm picking up some color that shouldn't be in that water brush. I guess I didn't clean it out very well the last time I used it. But I will continue on. But the melon is sticking out nicely. So I'm just kind of going over. And I have these are our new pencils. And we have, the bright colors, and then we've got these nature colors. So the browns and greens, and there's a cyan blue for the sky. So I am going to color the leaves and some of the flowers with these new pencils. I haven't tried them out yet, so I decided to try them, and I'm going to make the leaves 2 colors. So, because no leaf is just one solid color. Usually there's some, tinges of other shades of green in there. And I will tell you that these are called blendable pencils. Now, they're not watercolor pencils, so you can't really add water to them and have the color just become watercolor. So, but they blend like a dream. For one thing, they're really a soft, the color is soft, and they blend together almost like they're watercolor pencils. I just can't believe how beautifully the color blends from one shade to another. So I am really happy with these. And like I said, I hadn't used them yet. So this always, when you do things like this, when you do these challenges, it kind of makes you, get out of the safe zone and try some different products. So that was sort of, that's kind of my idea when I do these things. It's like, okay, what can I use that I haven't used in a long time? So I'm pulling out from the Bright and Vivid the yellow, and so I thought I'd put a yellow flower in there, but I'm going to add a little bit of an orange touch that might be called orange citrus. And I'm going to try to add a little bit more ink. So I'm still getting a color in there that I don't want in there. So I'm trying to clean off that brush. This is a note. If you have the watercolor brushes, when you finish using them, clear them out of the color that's in there so that it just doesn't dry there and mess up your next round of coloring. So I think I got all of the other color out that's in there. So I'm just going to kind of layer and add more color so that there's some dark and some lighter of the melon. So it's kind of coming along there. And I'm just continuing to pick up the color from the inside of the cap. And there's already a little bit of water in my watercolor brush. So I'm going to I was using this brown because this, kind of looks like, I thought it would be like sunflower seeds or brown. So that's kind of what I was thinking. But then I thought, well, that's too brown, add a little yellow to it. And then I decided to use the citrus, the orange citrus, and just go over this flower really lightly. And put the brown away and decide to pull out this orange. It's fire red, I think is what it was called. But I'm doing it real lightly because I don't want a dark red flower. So I'm just kind of blending the red with the orange just to see, it can be really dark. It's making the berries kind of a dark red. So anyway, put my pencils away, and I kind of like, those are kind of autumn. Okay, lost my sound there for a minute. Then, I just decided that brown blob in the middle just wasn't too pretty. So I decided to pull out my gold to kind of see if I can, just add some gold highlights in there. I mean, that worked out nicely the last time I did a card. And I'm changing the dots to gold just so that we have a little bit of, pop going on in there. And these paint pens, or whatever you want to call them, just really, that gold really sticks out nicely. It's very, very shiny, so it's real fun to use. So I'm trying to think, okay, now I've got to put my sentiment in before I put that flower in place. So I'm going to go ahead and season the stamp on the back of my hand and test it out, make sure it's going to work okay. And it is, and then I need to put my little spongy thing underneath. So I love how the arch of the letters goes up against the arch of the oval. So I'll clean it off, put it back, and pull out my friends. So I'm here for you, friend. Test it out, try it again. And there we go. So I like that script. It just kind of looks like you wrote it. So I'm adding the flower there, and I'm going to pop it up because you have to have some dimension when you're whether you're doing scrapbooking or card making. But especially with cards, they're going to be handled up close and personal. So you definitely want to have some dimension to your card just to add interest to it. So There we go. And see how that gold sticks out? It really sticks out nicely. So I'll put my little pencils away. I'm happy with those. And I'm going to put the backing that I made, I'm going to put it back on onto a card base. And I just want to make sure I'm getting it right to the edge. And there's a better close-up. I seem to be having a hard time getting too far away or too close up. So I'm going to decorate my envelope a little bit. And I'm going to take that same flower. And I'm not gonna ink it in black. I'm going to ink it in Melon. Because that's kind of what I do with my envelopes. So that's going to work out nice. I'll put my little foamy under there. And then we've got a nice big stamp to decorate our envelope. And I'm going to decorate the back of my card too. So I'll put the foam down. But I think what I'm going to do is use the smaller flower, because the other one's pretty big to put back there. So I'm going to use the smaller bouquet and put it on the back of the card. And so I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to add, because I've got the gold on there, I'm going to add some gold gems. That was also part of the card design, to have some little embellishments on there. And so there's my embellishments. Probably the smaller ones would have been better, but I'm all out of small. I ran through all of them. So there's the card. Now, I keep on looking at it thinking, what can I do? Now, what I could have done was gotten my gold shimmer brush and done some splashes of gold on the background, and that would have added a little pop to that background, that kind of plain background. It would have been a good time to do it before I put it on the melon. But anyway, I didn't do that, didn't think of that in time. So there's my card. And so, I mean, I think it's okay. It meets the requirements for this sketch. But then I decide, okay, I'm going to make another piece. And I ran it through my embosser. And this is the sunburst with dots. And so it's very subtle, but it just adds a little interest. And even though you can't see a whole lot, and I also sponged the edge. So there we go. Hope you like it. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Dorothy Smith. Thanks for watching my video, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel and learn along with me. Thanks. Bye-bye.